What did you think of the trap that Trump laid in the State of the Union address, where he, just show the tape there, because I think it's self-explanatory. And the Democrats didn't stand. I mean, obviously, it's a it's a deliberate trap, because they always played these games of Simon Says there at the State of the Union.
Well, I think you and I agree on this is all performative.
I know, but is it going to look bad in campaign ads?
I don't think anyone's going to remember that come campaign.
They will if they put it in the ad.
You can't tell black people that something they support is Jim Crow 2.0. You can't tell black folk that something they support to the tune of 71 to 76%, that MSDNC and even CNN had to admit were true, because they did their own polling. Black people support having an ID to vote. But y'all want black folk to support not having an ID to vote, so that you could give away the House to illegals and to foreigners like you've been doing. So how else would you do that? How else would you influence black folk to once again go against our best interests? Support.
Yes, in my entire life, I've never seen this before. Chuck Schumer sent this out on X. The SAFE Act is Jim Crow 2.0. It will disfranchise tens of millions of people. If Trump is saying he won't sign any bills until the SAFE Act is passed, then so be it. There will be total gridlock in the Senate. Senate Democrats will not help pass the SAFE Act under any circumstances. Okay, when you take a look at what this man put out, it has stirred up the black community to a level not seen in a long time. I have gone to many countries. I think this is my first time required to have an ID to cast the vote is a major issue. I've not seen this before. I don't know what these Democrats are actually thinking.
And what about Melania?
Here's
How is Melania supposed to register? I mean, she's not even. I wonder if she's a citizen. Is she?
She is.
She is.
She's a
but
naturalized citizen.
her name doesn't match her name now, like mine.
Disrespectfully, fuck you, Chuck Schumer. Full send. Because when I see this tweet crying that the SAVE Act is just Jim Crow 2.0, I have to ask one very simple question as a black man. Do you even hear yourself anymore? You must be the expert on everything black, huh? Jim Crow was literacy tests, poll taxes, beatings, intimidation, and people getting murdered for trying to vote. Jim Crow was my grandparents being told that they weren't human enough to even participate in the country that they paid taxes to help build. The SAVE Act says prove you're a U.S. citizen before you can vote in a U.S. election. That's it. That's the entire damn premise. And you out here comparing to segregation, like you just discovered the civil rights movement in a Google tab. I'm telling you, man, Malcolm X was right about y'all. Nothing more dangerous to a black man than a white liberal. But here's the part me up. You say if Trump insists on the bill, you'll create a total gridlock in the Senate. Awesome. Because you know what actually disenfranchises tens of millions of Americans? A government that spends more time in a political pissing contest than doing the damn job that the taxpayers pay them to do. You want real world consequences? When Washington plays shutdown chicken with the budget, guess who pays for it? Regular ass people. Families stuck in airport lines because TSA is overworked, underpaid, and wondering if they're getting a paycheck this week. Small businesses waiting on permits. Border operations stretched thin. Federal workers wondering if their mortgage is going to get paid. But tell me more about defending democracy, while proudly announcing at the same time that you're going to grind the entire legislative branch to a halt. That's the part y'all never explain. You claim you're protecting voters, right? While actively sabotaging the government those voters elected. You screaming voter suppression, but require ID for getting on a plane, purchasing alcohol, opening a bank account, picking up prescriptions, entering a federal building. The list goes Shit, you need more verification than a puppy. But suddenly somehow asking for proof of citizenship is Jim Crow? Stop it. That shit not civil rights. Voter ID required to vote. Proof of citizenship. To register to vote. No mailing with exceptions. No men allowed in women's sports. No transgenderies for minors. But y'all fight it? Man. Americans, black, white, Latino, Asian, everybody. They're getting real tired of watching you career politicians light the kitchen on fire.
So one of the biggest things that the Democrats are saying.
Yes, Shelley Underwood sounds an awful lot like co-host Sonny Austin, especially after toasting together as Underwood denounced voter ID. This is a lady who claimed she is a Republican, at the same time just acting like Libras. I saw this video on The View. I don't know. I'm just going to play that so you can see exactly what she did here.
Well, here's my problem with this. States run voting.
Yes. Correct.
We, the Republican Party, always keep hollering states' rights.
That's right.
The problem I have with this, every investigation I've seen where the Secretary of State was a Republican, there's no vote on, and there were still Republican Secretary of State that verified that he won.
Correct.
Either it works when it works or it doesn't work. But here's my other problem with it. States also decide identity.
Yes.
So you're going to disenfranchise the American voter. But my bigger problem with this, it ain't about an ID. If we can elect a 34 count convicted.
You know, it's actually becoming clear that some Republicans are participating in this. You should obviously know that these people don't like Trump because they just want him out. That is the simple truth. If you look at what is going on currently, you will clearly see that there is a problem. When you take a look at this tweet, unacceptable, Leader Jones, bringing the Safe Act, American Act to the floor without a token filibuster guaranteeing failure, why won't he force Democrats to defend letting illegals vote on camera and on the record? This kind of spineless leadership is exactly why the Gulf stand to lose midterm. Disgusting. This is simple truth, right? At some point, I saw a lot of people talking like this. You should obviously know they don't like Trump. Yeah. And you know, if Democrat wins, you know what will happen to the president, right?
So one of the biggest things that the Democrats are saying, the claims that they're making, is that the Save America Act, it would prevent married women from voting in elections or make it harder for them. What do you have to say to those claims? Is there any validity to them, and where do you think they're getting this from?
There is zero validity to these claims, and I'm glad that you brought them up because you have the Democrats who have created this myth, and it has been perpetuated, unfortunately, by many in the mainstream media. Let me be very clear.
The sentiment is on point, but as we know, Senate Majority Leader John Thune refuses to aggressively pursue this crucial legislation by forcing what's called a talking filibuster.
I want to appreciate people that constantly support me, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips at the end, that is for the white algorithm. You can always skip.
Back to the idea of an expertise denigrated.
Our chamber is chanting USA. This is a sick person. The first lady.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
She wasn't the only one. Look at SOT 35, CNN's Abby Phillip.
But he utilized almost like these game show type moments where you're seeing awards being presented.
They're just so disgusting.
Of course, he chose who did not vote in his favor and did not shake her hand there.
Here's the video. He shook everyone's hand. Everyone. There's the Chief Justice. All of them got their hands shaken to the point where they had to come back on the air and say this in SOT 33.
But we should point out as he walks in, he's pretty close to the justices again as he comes down on the floor, that he did shake their hands there this evening.
Moment. No, that's not what happened at all.
Democrats to stand for the slain passenger in North. Our first priority is Americans rather than illegal on either of those two. I think they took his bait.
Can take away from the joyous moment as all Americans. And why are they putting a medal?
Oh, he's already under scrutiny for 1,000 reasons. Viral Patel posted this on X.
Job.
I get suspicious when any
person's home, it's very easy to.
This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
The country's in such emotional turmoil.
And Republicans on both sides. You're
so amazing. And wasn't it so great?
When it can be hard to hope.
Hey, girl.
In a time when it can be hard to hope. Each day.
He was saying things like, oh, every day we wake up and we just.
Do they actually believe we have no memory of the